Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of Brice Side. We are here today at Chysauster. Let's go in. It's been several years since we've been to Chysauster. It was definitely pre-Matilda, pre-children, that's for sure. So let's go and have a look. Now, it is a site that is managed by English Heritage, of which, of course, if you follow our vlogs, you'll know that we are now members of. So we've got our membership cards ready, and let's go and see Chysauster. Here we go, we've arrived at the booth where non-members pay, members flash them their card. Good morning, Mr. Butterfly. So we've just flashed our membership card and we are now able to go up. There's some information here, so welcome to Chysauster Ancient Village. Not even going to attempt to pronounce it in Cornish. You're about to explore one of the best preserved ancient villages in Britain, where a close-knit community lived and worked about 1800 years ago. Awesome. 6 of the houses were excavated during investigations and restoration work that took place periodically between 1873 and 1939. Several other houses have not been excavated and survive today as earthworks. Yeah. This is quite cool. Could quite comfortably live in something like that, couldn't you, if you were like of olden times? Do you know what I mean? Maybe not. Yeah, call me one for creature comforts, but although that does look nice, and actually if you needed shelter back in the day, I think I'll stick to a Roman villa, thank you very much.
Heated underfloor.
Yeah.
Pools. Yeah, no, I'm going with that too.
Definitely. So according to the lady in the ticket booth, we are on our own up here, which is lovely. There was a family up here earlier who have now gone. So it's just us, so we can explore. So this structure is square, so that doesn't look... Well, it's old, but it doesn't look Chysauster era. That's interesting, I wonder when that was built. So a little information placard, so Courtyard Houses, which is the style in which these were built. So they're all like a round, sort of oval shaped construction. So you've got the round room, the main living space, with a raised floor and often an open hearth, used for cooking and eating. Long room, a narrow room, perhaps for housing livestock or sleeping. Small round room, only present in some of the houses, providing extra living space. Gotcha, okay. So yeah, the courtyard, external, these would have been roofed in, and in your entrance, paved passage through a thick outer wall, facing away from a prevailing wind. Alright. Let's go. Beautiful day. A little bit windy, but definitely not cold. About 60 degrees. But probably feels a little bit chillier than that because of the wind, but really nice. Nice and sunny. Yeah. So an artist's impression of what Chysauster more than likely looked like. Let me get my shadow out of it. Back in the day. And we are here. So straight ahead of us is house number 6 with the viewing platform on. Just to the left is house number 5, house number 7. Right, so this is coming into house number 6. So obviously this is the main entrance, which would have led, or which does, lead into the courtyard. Yeah.
So this is the largest and best preserved house and was the first to be excavated in 1873. What you can see today is a result of careful restoration work carried out in 1937 to 1938.
Cool. And that fine looking gentleman there is William Copeland Borlase.
Who excavated and surveyed a great number of prehistoric sites in Cornwall.
Because he also did Carnuni, didn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this, I can't remember what the rooms were now. These were all the various, so this was your open air, this was your open sort of area, this was your main courtyard. And then this one had, so this one had an extra bit of living space, I think, which I would say was that one. Looking at the map, or remembering from the map. So not all of the structures have this as an extra space, but this was thought to be extra living space. Who knows, maybe a bigger family? Or the sort of like the prominent family of the settlement, maybe? And this way, where Shelley is standing, this was the main...
Yeah, this looks like it would be the main...
Yeah, this was the main sort of living space. So again, this would have been enclosed. The walls... Well, I don't know actually how much higher the walls would have been. They might have been...
But you would have had your roof.
Because they would have been big sort of sweeping roofs up, wouldn't they?
And they were saying that these stones would have had your wooden posts in them to help hold your roof up, and that's why they've got that shape cut out.
Right, okay. Yeah. Was the hearth in the middle? Was that the hearth? Do they think, maybe?
But actually, if you just...
Well, if you think...
If you duck down to the wings...
It's quite windy, so let's duck down. And actually, yes, granted it would have a roof, to be fair. But actually, you...
relatively well sheltered.
Yeah, it is sheltered, because up here is really exposed, and we'll show you the view of the landscape in a minute from the from the viewing platform. Because the views, you can see why they chose this area to settle.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's the...
miles around.
Yeah. So coming back out, this was... No, was this the narrow room? I can't remember if this was called the narrow room. Possibly. Potential animal shelters. And then another one in here. This is so cool. Look at this, just imagine this is someone's home. This little structure is here, sort of annexed on. There's the viewing platform, we'll go up there in a minute. Leave house number 6 now and go up to that viewing platform, so let's find our way up there. Right, it's really windy up on this viewing platform, but fantastic views. You've got Mounts Bay, well over there. Again, the camera hasn't got a great lens, but you can see Mounts Bay over there and Penzance. So fantastic vantage point from up here. And then coming along the horizon, we have got... so you were saying about like water sources.
So there's a stream down there.
Yeah, so because we were just saying about the apparent lack of water and wells up here, but obviously if there's a stream down there, and then up on the horizon is the Ding Dong Mines, which is a load of separate mines. So on the skyline is the engine house at Greenborough, built in 1865, which again I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick up too much. You can just about
not have taken a photograph, and we'll insert it.
Yeah. Just about to see it there in the centre of the frame. So yeah, quite impressive. But yeah, you can see the thickness of these walls. So this is looking down onto house number 6, where we were just at. Yeah. And again, what
she was saying that they were about 2 meters or 6 feet thick.
Yeah.
And feeling this breeze today, you can see why it was 2 meters thick.
But yeah, what a fantastic view! What a vantage point that the people here had. So this is house number 8. And this is one of the unexcavated houses here. So this one hasn't been touched. So this literally, obviously if we were to dig down under my feet, we would get down to the base level of the house sort of structure. And I mean, really, to be honest, this one,
shallower, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's not dug down. This one just looks like hedging, really, doesn't it?
But standing on it,
yeah,
like it's mossy. It wouldn't take professionals, but it wouldn't take them much to dig it down.
No,
because it's not hard ground.
And I think the idea with like archaeology is, I think that certain amounts of archaeology is left undisturbed, isn't it, for like future generations?
Yeah, for future archaeologists, because I think archaeologists recognise that technology advances, and what they want is to leave things for future archaeologists to be able to find and explore in different ways that they can't at the time. I think the nature of archaeologists is they probably believe in science fiction becoming science fact.
Yeah. So this is an education hut, the lady was saying. So we assume that when school trips come up to Chysauster, they can utilise this building to do a bit of learning. Oh yeah, look, there's a whiteboard here. Oh yeah, that wind just battering the shed. Yeah. Romano, British, Cornwall. So at the time the people lived at Chysauster, seismic changes were taking place as the Romans invaded and occupied much of the rest of Britain. But life in the far southwest continued almost unchanged. So Chysauster was surrounded by fields where the inhabitants grazed their flocks of sheep and grew cereal crops. Field boundaries have survived for 2,000 years as low walls and earthworks. Huh. Artist reconstruction, I assume. So there is a fugu just off site. I don't know if we're gonna get all the way out to there, although it's not far. But we don't really know what fugus were used for. Storage, religious purposes, shelter, I don't know. So we're just going to make our way over to the other side of house number 6, because there was a few more structures over there. So house number 9, well, that was excavated, wasn't it? House number 9?
Yes, and it's house number 8.
And 2.
And 2, which weren't.
Yeah.
So
let's say 10 houses.
So they believe there was 10 houses with up to 70 people living here.
Right. 70 people. Not a bad little homestead, really, is it?
Quite a lot of people.
Yeah. It is quite a lot of people, actually, for the size of it. It's a relatively big site, but not in the scheme of things. Huh. It must have been windy, like, most of the time up here, really. a pretty nice view. So we assume this is like the boundary of it. Hedging wall there on the right. Yeah. So we just asked the lady about the fugu that is here at Chysauster. Apparently back in the Victorian age, it was the material that built the fugu was heavily pillaged. So the whole sort of area is completely disturbed, and it's just all been filled in with what did she say, sand? Did they fill it in with sand, or did it just get, I don't know.
It's been filled.
It's been filled.
She was saying over 100 sites just in West Penwith.
No, 400.
400
yeah.
sites just in West Penwith, which is where we are, Penzance and the surrounding area, were destroyed during the Victorian times.
Yeah, you can't imagine that, can you? 400 sites just destroyed during the Victorian period. That's awful. But yeah, so the fugu, so really all you can see apparently is literally just the entrance part of it. Everything else is filled in. So we're not going to go sort of that far out of our way to see essentially some sand, like earth, dirt, filled in, whatever. Shame. So that's going to do it from Chysauster. Give the episode a big thumbs up. Do subscribe to the Brice Side, it really does help the channel grow, and share with your friends. And
hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Yeah, I always forget the social network side of things, but yeah, we're on them, the Brice Side. So that's it. So from us to you, cheers and gone. While we were at Chysauster, I bought the book, which also covers Carnuni. I did have an older version of this one, but this is an updated version, so I'm looking forward to looking at that. That'd be quite cool. Yeah. Nice.